Hello and welcome to the M2 podcast. Let me pull this a little bit closer for everybody. This is the show where we cover video game industry related news. This week, we're going to be talking about Unity creating a new, the former devs of Unity creating a new studio. We're going to talk a little bit about Bungie and a little bit more of an update of what we covered. What was it, Kyle? Last week, I think we talked about Bungie.
Think so.
Yeah, so a little bit more of a follow up. Literally, our last episode, right after we published, we breaking news of like Game Informer imploding. So we're going to dive into that. We're going to talk a little bit about Warner Brothers. And one of the things I'm excited to talk about is the International Olympic Committee adding esports to the Olympics, which is going to be nuts. But before we get into that, Kyle, how you been? What have you been up to? How you doing?
I just been chilling, dude. Been chilling. I've been doing a whole lot, especially like gaming wise. Still kind of a bit of a dry spell for me. Just kind of haven't been feeling much. I really do want to get back into it. It's just like, I don't know. I've been like in a brain rot streak recently where I'm just like on the couch, just like dead, watching like sports stuff, trying to get ready for football. And it's like,
I feel that. I just had to activate all my fantasy football league stuff, and I've been patiently waiting and fiending over the next Halo major. I did all the stats for it and stuff, and I totally feel you.
Yeah,
but no games.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think the big thing I want to do is like we have the Xbox in the living room now, so it's like I just want to take advantage of that. So I think I definitely want to play some like just grab a controller while I'm on the couch and just play something for sure. It's certainly the goal, so I definitely want to try and do something this week. Just like even if it's a little bit, just try and play something. So that's my goal this week, and especially since it'll be a little more, kind of quieter. I'm sure, not as hectic.
You should get on like a indie flash game or something. One of those like what I did. I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of what I did this last week, but it would be advice for you is just to go on the Game Pass and then try to find a game that's like less than 5 hours and just spend a little bit of time playing that. If you want to like play a new game at least, or just jump on to, I don't know, whatever game you're into. Really.
Yeah, it's like the multiplayer stuff. I just haven't. I know it's been like a while since I played a multiplayer game, man. Like for me anyway. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't been hit with the bug. I mean, I played like the college football game, but it wasn't online, so it was kind of just like playing the more story mode type thing. So
I don't know, dude. Not every game needs to be online though,
Yeah.
So it's like
exactly. So,
Yeah. There's been a lot of buzz in like the gaming industry right now of like content creators talking about that on how I think somebody in Europe maybe is getting sued for doing a live service game and keeping it always online. Yeah, Ubisoft's getting sued, I think, for The Crew. We saw the article maybe 2 weeks ago, and now people are starting to catch on to like what's happening. And there's a lot of like give and take between developers and actual content creators. Content creators are just like, no, this is a good idea. We need to get rid of always online games. You need to be able to own the game, that kind of thing.
Right.
And then the other ones are like the developer side of, hey, we need to make money too, kind of thing. We've got to feed my family.
Yeah, it's nothing but the truth, man. It's a weird line to toe, but
it is.
But yeah, I don't know, dude. Like that was kind of really it for me. Didn't really play too much. Like I said, I'm gonna make it a goal to definitely play at least one thing this week. So,
hey, you should try to
get back into it because it's one of those things. Like, dude, I was also upset, dude, this week. Tell me why I log on to Twitter and I see.
Oh, I see me chirping.
Nah, not even that. Listen, I see that Avowed has been delayed.
Oh yeah.
What am I supposed to now? What am I supposed to do in the month of October, November, December?
Okay, like, first and foremost, Black Myth Wukong, August 20th. I think that's what you should be playing because that's supposed to be Journey to the West and Souls-like, and I think you like Souls-like games, don't you?
I mean, I don't know, kind of. The last Souls-like I played was probably Jedi Fallen Order, so that was a while ago. But I don't know. I don't know. I definitely just need to branch out, but But I was like, I saw that news, and now it's like February of Out's coming out. It's just like, oh man. I will say, dude. I mean, it'll be after kind of the main like like sports and everything, so it'll be a good time to just hop on something and like just catch up on like games and stuff I missed. But yeah, I don't know. I was a little let down by it. I was like, dang, dude. Like I have to wait now, but I just hope it's good. at this point. So I just hope they take kind of the extra time to just make sure it's, runs well and isn't too buggy. So
Yeah, facts. I mean, it is kind of alarming that they're pushing it out that far, right?
yeah,
Man,
I
I'm
mean,
not a fan of that.
I guess especially as we do the show, it's like we shouldn't be too surprised because there was never a definitive date, and so it's like when you're this close and there's no definitive date, it's just never ends well. I feel like in this case, it's a delay. So
Yeah, anytime there's a red flag like this, I always think the same thing. It's just, oh, okay, well, True Colors came out kind of thing.
yeah,
Like there's something we don't know about. There's something they're not sharing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
who knows?
It was a
they're
weird.
promising a lot.
Yeah, it's true. It was a weird situation because like I logged on Twitter and I saw like I think I saw like Jeff Keighley tweeted about it, like a couple other news outlets saying like, oh, Avowed is delayed, like Xbox confirmed, and then I went on like Obsidian's Twitter and also the Avowed Twitter, and there was like no announcement at the time, so I don't know if that's changed now.
Very
but
weird.
It was like the Xbox announced it, but like they didn't say, the actual devs never said anything, so it was like it was strange, but I don't know. There may be something now. That was days ago, so I don't know, but yeah, it was odd at the time for sure. It's like Xbox announced it, but the studio didn't necessarily confirm.
It feels alarming.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
Yeah, probably not a sign. I don't know. Did you play anything this week, Mike? Oh, you played some Halo.
I played a lot of Halo. Yeah, I actually, I just sent you something on Discord of like my game progress tracker because I finished Firewatch.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, but here's the basically the play-by-play of what I've been doing. Playing a lot of Counter-Strike. Up until actually last night, I was playing nothing but ranked, and then dude, I got freaking bullied so bad, and I was getting crazy like lag spikes, and it was just that is not the game to get lag spikes. So yeah, I was having a tough time, so I switched over, played a little bit more Halo. But the big thing that I actually finished is Firewatch. Played that all the way through. I think I actually started it maybe last week. I finished it in 2 days. Yeah, I started it on the 30th, and then I finished it on the 1st. So I started it like right before we started recording, and then I finished it on the 1st. It's only a 4-hour game,
right?
Is what they say.
Yeah, short game.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right. I mean, I ranked it a 7 out of 10. I was going to give it an 8 out of 10, but then I saw like what I have for 7 out of 10s on my list, or what I have for 8 out of 10s. Like one of my 8 out of 10s is Ori and the Will of the Wisp, which is the sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest.
Right. Yeah.
I loved Will of the Wisps, and I gave that an 8 out of 10. And I was like, Firewatch wasn't as good. But then I was looking, I was like, what's my number 6? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? I was like, that's 6 out of 10. So
yeah, it's like I don't know. The perspective's gonna change the more games you play, right? It's like you'll start to get that scale better. But yeah, it's weird at first, right?
I think you're right. Yeah, I'm just trying to get through it, and I'm debating now for like what should I try to do instead. I can continue doing Diablo, finish out Diablo's main storyline, but I'm not too far away. I think I'm getting to Act 4 or at the end of Act 3. So it shouldn't be too far away, but they've nerfed my class, so it could be longer, and I might have to relearn or something. I don't know how it works.
No.
But then there's Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk I've been playing, haven't finished in like 3 years.
Oh, dude, you're telling me, dude. I beat the like main campaign again, but then by the time I got to the DLC, I was like maybe like a fourth or a halfway through, and I was like already so burnt out from putting 30 plus hours in before, so it was just like, oh, I'll come back to it. That was October, and now it's August of next year. So I don't know.
Exactly. It's like that is on my list, and Mortal Kombat 1. I need to play through that. I think I've set up my like settings and character with my gamepad, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll come back to this, and it's been 7 months. So
yep, that's how it is, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah. But at the same time, I've had Tears of the Kingdom like forever since it launched, and I have yet to really play it.
Oh man,
I don't know. I've been thinking, man, I'm probably gonna just start streaming the games just to like if people come in and just want to ride with me. Maybe that'll be a little bit more motivation.
Dude, why not, man? Should. So there'll be people that pop in for sure. So why not, dude?
Yeah, occasionally. I mean, people pop in when I'm playing Halo, but because I'm playing like comp games, I'm not really talking to the chat.
Yeah, it's
like
not interactive.
Normally. No, not at all. And that's the problem with competitive games in general. You're not really talking to your audience. Your audience is just watching you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one way for sure. So
yeah, I don't like that kind of stream. It's not fun.
Yeah.
But how about
it is what it is, dude.
Yeah, but I don't really have anything else to add. Should we just go ahead and jump into the start of our articles? We only really have 5, the usual 5. So
certainly can, dude.
Yeah.
Why
start
not?
us off, man. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it for sure. I know we've been talking about new studios, Mike, and we have yet another. Sir. And in this craziness that is the layoffs and the bad news and what feels like doom and gloom, there's these little seeds that are starting to plant and hopefully grow into something pretty cool. So in this case, we'll be talking about former Unity and Scopely developers form Outer Haven Games. Come from gamesindustry.biz. Vicky Blake, contributor. I'm trying to think, have we covered anything from Vicky? I don't know if we have. Seems like a new member. Could be way off, but I don't know. Interesting.
Vicky, no, we have actually. Okay. Not often though.
Yeah.
Really not often. I only recognize the profile picture. For some reason, like profile pictures can stick in my head for a long time.
Yeah, the face sticks, but name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think I'm going through her published articles. We might have actually talked about one of her Bungie articles or have seen one of her Bungie articles.
No.
Or Twitch layoffs and stuff. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and get into it, brother.
Anyways, dude. Let's talk about former Unity and Scopely developers banding together to form Outer Haven Games. The team, which is based in California, USA, and consists of founders Austin Ashcraft, Stephen Fong, and Chuck Beaver, who lead on product, business, and creative, respectively, is already working on a, quote, anime-inspired RPG called Techno Inferno? Inferior no? It's like really like the eyes there kind of like throw me off.
It is very odd, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I'm just gonna call it Techno Inferno, dude. Infurino? I don't know, dude.
Let's see if I can do the translate for this.
What does Google say? Real question.
Google, listen here. Infierno.
Okay, that I like that. Infierno.
Maybe it's a. Okay. Let's see. Meaning. Oh, it is Spanish. Spanish for hell. Spanish for hell or inferno.
I see. Techno Inferno. So the team is rounded out by Kevin Cullen and Eric Ackerman, who both joined Beaver and the creative team. Welcome to Outer Haven Games, a mad, raving, and creatively wrapped in a game company. And that's what the official website says. The muse owns us and we obey. Our perfect day is one lost to making art, crying over a passage, maybe factoring a database. We make culture, we make mystery, intrigue, and holy crap, dude, these moments are insane. And that's why, and that's what people pay us for. Join us in our full Technicolor Fury future, where we swing from the rafters and never miss. Okay, there's some gumption, there's some character in this statement coming out of the studio.
Let's get it.
Seems like a very creative bunch for sure. But yeah, see this thing, anime-inspired RPG. You know how every time we talk about these, we go through these, the Summer Games Fest and all these showcases, and it's like you see the anime game, and I feel like it's the running joke to a certain extent. It's like, oh, gotta have a couple anime games in there, and that's no disrespect to anime as an art form. I used to watch anime a lot.
A style.
Yeah, like I love anime. I think, and so it's like I totally respect it. But I know for me, like anime games, I just never really play. That's just personally, just my personal preference, I guess.
I'm on the same page as that.
Yeah,
to be honest, it's not really like my style, I guess.
Yeah, but I will say it's like this is. I mean, it seems like a pretty cool team just from the memo and what we're seeing, and they have a link to the website and everything. It seems like just a cool group of guys, and they're gonna make some cool games. So I'm excited to see more.
They are currently hiring for an art director position and a game dev engineer. So if anybody is a dev and needs some, I guess, wants to join the team, they're readily available. It looks like it's interesting. Their little promo is join us, and it's like the typical contact slip that most web browsers has, like first, last name, email, phone number, and then a quick message. And it also says like, we need more rocket fuel to blast off into our dreams, and that fuel is you in bold. Want to join a scrappy startup with all the excitement that entails? No overlords, no corporate malfeasance. Jeez, dude, this is why I wish I paid more attention in high school.
Vernacular goes crazy on these people know big words. That's all I'm saying.
Let's see, malfeasance. Thank goodness. I gotta get you the plugin for this.
I've never heard of that
I
word
know,
in my
dude.
life.
Dude, I'm like highlighting words over here and then choosing like translate to selection English or search in Google and then Google Translate so I can listen to it so the AI is beating it back. Do that all the time. But yeah, so they're saying they're looking for some awesome people to help lift this out of the bootstraps or whatever bootstrap phase of the project. They're very early, looks like. Yeah, it looks kind of cool, the little sketch that they got so far. And if you're into anime and you're into RPGs, this could be interesting for you.
Yeah,
it's always good to just see. In a world full of layoffs, we have to balance the scales of new studios popping up out of like the abyss.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I like covering these articles. It's just cool to see new studios coming up. But yeah, I mean, I just think that I don't know, just from like reading all this and you're reading the website and showing everything, it seems like it's just like a cool group of people that just form together and they want to make something cool, and it's just like I don't know. I like the character behind it because it kind of shows through their messaging. So yeah, dude, Outer Haven. I like the logo too. The logo's pretty sick. It's like a sun.
Yeah, that it is. It's clean.
Yeah, it looks very minimal and just it's clean, dude.
It's interesting too because there's like so many different type of outer stuff in video games, like Outer Worlds, Outer Space, Outer
Wilds,
Outer Wilds. Yeah, I get
man.
it. It makes sense, but it's just kind of funny to see.
Yeah, that's a interesting, call out. Yeah, it's true, dude. It's a lot of outers. Out of this world with layoffs, new studios, dude. It's wild stuff. But we do have an update on an article we posted last week because it's kind of a funny contradiction / dichotomy that we're seeing with Bungie. So
yeah, contradiction, dichotomy. Yeah, that's a very, very fair thing to say. Apparently, I didn't know. Is Bungie actually headquartered? So, by the way, this article is about Bungie. Are they actually headquartered in Chicago? Because I thought they were headquartered in Seattle.
I mean, yeah, I figured they would be Seattle. That would have been my guess. I mean, that was where Halo was, right? So, but yeah, maybe they moved shop.
Bellevue. Yeah, Bellevue is where their headquarters are. So if you scroll down, you'll see at the very bottom of the Game Rant article, a little bit further, it shows Bungie and then date founded.
Nice.
Yeah. Maybe that's because that's where the parent company of Sony's headquartered.
I don't know. I feel like Sony was like, I mean, they're all over the place, but
oh yeah.
So like, I mean, unless it started in Chicago, but no, that wouldn't make sense.
No, they're in San Mateo.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Dude, Game Rant, what the heck, man? Where do you get your sources?
You did well not to put the author on this article. I'd be going at you right now.
Oh, dude, it's Pam.
Oh no, it's at the top. My bad. My bad. It's Pam at the top.
Let's go, Pam.
On mine, we're actually switched for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, so this article is coming from Pam Ferdinand out at GameRank, and the title is just an update about what's been going on at Bungie since the last layoffs. So apparently, Bungie is still hiring after the mass layoffs. Pretty crazy because of all the backlash they've been seeing. Have you seen all the content creators and YouTubers that have just lost their minds over Bungie? What they've been doing?
Yeah, dude. Can't blame them.
They're just creating like hour-long things about why Bungie's the worst developer imaginable.
I know, you've seen all the YouTube exposés, dude. Crazy.
Oh, man. Getting cooked. So let's just go ahead and get into this. Starting off the article, Pam wrote, Bungie is apparently still hiring after the company laid off 220 employees on July 31st. The redundancies amounted to approximately 17% of the game studio total workforce and wiped out some teams entirely. This decision by Bungie came less than 2 months after the launch of the final shape. By many metrics, Destiny 2's most successful expansion to date, along with a significant number of Bungie employees who unexpectedly found themselves without employment. Another 12% received news that their roles would be integrated with Sony Interactive Entertainment in the coming months. This move will help prevent further layoffs at Bungie, according to CEO Pete Parsons, who we basically did a whole thing, and we created a segment for anybody that wants to go to watch it about Pete Parsons' statement that he gave on the official Bungie vlogs. I'm used to watching YouTube. So continue on this article. This move will help prevent further layoffs at Bungie, which he states were a necessary cost-cutting measure despite the positive reception of its latest release. It's also been noticed that there are still 4 open job roles posted on Bungie's career website. 2 of these are for the developer's upcoming PvP extraction shooter, Marathon. One listing is for Destiny 2's gameplay designer, and the last is for a release manager in the marketing department. Granted, websites are not always immediately updated to reflect nascent events. It's also to be expected that while some roles have been cut, others might still need filling. However, in light of the layoffs, the optics for Bungie are not ideal. Now, should we give like a really quick top view thing of like what Pete said in his like recap, I guess,
Yeah,
of what he said in his statement. Basically, Pete, the CEO of Bungie, said that the acquisition saw redundancies in the upper management of Bungie with Sony. So the guys in Bungie, like executive level talent, were laid off. There were high level studio, like we don't know the exact positions, but it was kind of inferred that it was like studio heads or studio leads that were then moved over to Sony projects. And then some of the games that Bungie had like segmented within their company would branch away from Bungie into their own kind of studio.
Yeah.
But that was 220 layoffs. And I don't remember the exact number, but I remember it being about 50 of them lost their jobs like completely.
Yeah, like 50 or
60. The rest were like moved to different areas of the Sony like umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not to say there wasn't a lot of layoffs, because early in the year, before they were acquired by Sony, they laid off like 400 people. Like just straight up laid them off. So that's a significant. There were like 1,200. Like I don't remember exactly the full number of how many people worked at Bungie at the beginning of the year, but now they're down to less than 800. So that's pretty significant to lose that many people in such a short amount of time. Literally like 7 months. So just wanted to add more context for anybody that doesn't know.
True.
And so just continuing on some of the roles that Bungie may be hiring for, there is a Destiny gameplay designer, which is senior to staff, Marathon principal product manager, live and commerce, Marathon weapons designer, which is a mid to senior role, and a release manager for marketing is what it said. So the recent events at the studio are particularly painful for employees because Bungie was just hit with layoffs in October. That's the one that I just referenced. I thought it was actually earlier in the year, not late last year, making it the 4th Sony subsidiary to receive cutbacks that month. Layoffs in the gaming industry have been happening with concerning regularity for the past couple of years. Some of these have been attributed to overhiring during the pandemic, as well as the subsequent economic downturn. Others, including these last redundancies at Bungie, have been laid at the feet of management, which is what I was talking about there. And it looks like she's going to reference the statement. Yeah, so we'll just close it out right here and we can talk about it afterwards. So, in fact, a statement released on July 31st, this is the statement I was explaining. CEO Pete Parsons explained that Bungie had been overly ambitious, that's Pete's words, and consequently, and in quotes, stretched its talent too thin too quickly. Simultaneously, the company scaled to an unsustainable size that, coupled with instability in the games industry, the disappointing performance of Destiny 2 Lightfall, and general economic conditions, caused it to fall financially into the red. These admissions, along with Pete Parsons' personal spending habits, have caused Bungie employees to believe that this is the most recent round of layoffs could have been at least somewhat avoided. It's interesting because I didn't know this, but after that statement, all this news came out that like Pete was just buying cars left and right and like living an exorbitant lifestyle.
I was going to mention earlier because I saw a couple memes too, of just like, people were making memes just about that thing of like he bought all these cars and stuff. And it's just like, man, got a lot of money. Like,
it happens, but yeah, I mean,
it still sucks to see. I mean,
it's not easy on the eyes.
Yeah, not at all.
It's really not easy on the eyes. It's like, bro, maybe don't do that right now.
Yeah, it's like
do that later.
When you do it like everyone else when you're retired.
Yeah, like, dude, what do you mean? Like, what are you doing? And if he gets laid off, he gets a bonus. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, but it pays to be senior, bro.
Yeah, it pays to get up there, I guess. Anyway, last article she wrote. Nevertheless, even in the wake of employment uncertainty, Recently affected Bungie staffers are still proud of the work they did during their time at the developer. One former member of the QA team took to social media to express her excitement for the next Destiny 2 raid and say that she'll probably still play it at launch. Well, that's good. I think that might have a lot to do with what Pete's statement was, because when you and I were reading it, it was very, very real and transparent, albeit like, honest, hey, maybe it could have been avoided.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly some to me that maybe. But,
yeah,
I mean, like I said, I still respect for the transparency. You know, it's not, it hurts to hear, but just like, okay.
Yeah, I think what I was trying to give the most credit for, and maybe you could probably agree with me here when we first covered it, is just how it was so unheard of to see that level of like accountability of him admitting like, oh, guys, we messed up. Yeah, we were overly ambitious. Like we stretched way too thin and we went in the red. I messed up. And it's like, I haven't seen a CEO in the gaming industry do that in a very long time. I think the last one I saw do that was like the Nintendo CEO, where he took a pay cut and then nobody else did.
Yeah. You're just like, all right, I'm taking a pay cut to keep people here, which is awesome.
Yeah. But a noble cause. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you know, I mean, I could respect the transparency. I mean, yeah, certainly hindsight, like, yeah, some of it probably could have been avoided, no doubt. So it just, you know, it is what it is ultimately, but yeah, it's like, you know, it just, it doesn't help your image when you're sitting there spending hundreds of thousands on cars, and it's like, you know,
like not even the slightest. It's not even in the slightest.
Yeah, it's not good. But I mean, it's cool to still see like some of the QA team, like they still enjoy the game, right? It doesn't like kind of ruin their perspective, at least on kind of the game itself. It's just kind of the company just sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it is somebody from the QA team, right? It's a former member. The fact that they took to social media to express their excitement after they're not like employed, that's a good sign if you're a Destiny 2 fan and you're waiting for new content. Yeah, it's like, true. Oh crap, maybe this like next thing will actually be good, because somebody that should be justifiably salty over what happened to them is still going to play the game. Right. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really cool, dude. Yeah, this sucks, but I think just the sheer irony, it's just like, yeah, there's still job postings, and granted, it probably just hasn't been updated. It's just like, it's like you lay all these people off, and it's like, oh, hey, I'm just going to apply back. Like, it'd be funny.
Yeah, I think my personal like company has had job openings listed forever.
Yeah.
I got hired, filled in one of the roles, and the job listing was there for basically 2 years. They took it down. It's just how it is.
Yeah. Oh, brother, good stuff.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. How about we get into the next bit of news?
Talk about
excited for you to cover this one.
Serious stuff. Serious. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Listen, we gotta talk about it because it definitely caught me off guard a little bit when I read it. I was late to this, so
it's big news.
Yeah, it's so big. I pulled the article from USA Today. That's something. So
good choice.
Anthony Rubbledew. Rubbledew.
I like that last name.
I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, Mr. Rubbledew. But I'm sorry if it isn't, you know. Just doing my best out here to talk about the final level. Popular GameStop magazine Game Informer ends abruptly, lays off staff. Abruptly. So the magazine's content director, Kyle Hillard, posted on X that the entire Game Informer staff was laid off as the team nearly finished working on the next issue. The gaming community is mourning. I would agree. It's pretty, it sucks, man. Anyway, let's talk about it.
It's really tough to see. I don't know about you, but I grew up on Game Informer.
Yeah, dude.
So
yeah, I used to
get those magazines all the time.
Yeah, I did too, dude. It was awesome seeing the cover. And yeah, dude, the cover's always smacked. It was like you always want to know what the cover would be.
Every time, dude. Every time. I remember walking into like EB Games and stuff like that, or Games. No, it was GameStop. Obviously, it's GameStop owned. But going in there and checking out the magazine for the first time, so cool. Yeah. Such a good time.
It's like you could subscribe to the GameStop Plus and get this magazine every month.
Mm-hmm.
So, gamers are grieving the end of an era as magazine Game Informer has reached 100% completion. The GameStop-owned magazine announced its closure on Friday after 33 years of offering news, reviews, and insights from the ever-evolving world of gaming. The outlet thanked its audience for decades of support in a farewell post titled The Final Level. The post was not written by editorial staff who were laid off Friday without prior warning. Dang, dude. Here's the last article. It's right here. We don't want any of you writing it. I'll write it. Oh man. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual reality realms, we've been honored to share this incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. The post reads. While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming that we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being part of our epic quest, and may your own gaming adventures never end. In June, Game Informer published its final issue out of 367 dedicated to the game Dragon Age: The Veilguard, the fourth of the fantasy franchise. In 1991, the outlet published the first issue under Minnesota-based retailer Funkoland, which GameStop later acquired in 2000. By 2011, Game Informer would become the third largest magazine in the U.S., partly thanks to the boost it received from GameStop's Power Up Rewards membership program. That's where I got my issues.
Yep.
Through that.
Yep. I remember those.
Oh, man. It's
Shout
crazy.
Out, Mom.
Like, 2000, like, dang, it's like GameStop on that.
Yeah.
I faintly remember EB Games, like when I was really young. Just like some EB Games in the States.
I used to go to EB Games, GameStop, and Radio Shack all the time. Yep. EB Games and GameStop were usually never in the same location. Yep. It's like McDonald's versus Burger King territory. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's true. I remember Radio Shack too. Like I'm like so pissed now because like when I got into like soldering and stuff, it's like it would have been so nice to have a Radio Shack.
It would have been everything. You have no idea. I feel the same way. I started modding like controllers, adding LEDs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would go to Radio Shack and buy all the different components. But geez, man, I miss it.
I do too, man. I do too. But let's talk about the staff abruptly being laid off ahead of the next issue. Yeah. So the entire Game Informer staff is laid off. As the team nearly finished working on the next issue, content director Kyle Hillard wrote to X. And I read the post earlier, but read it again. So Game Informer has been closed down by GameStop, and the entire incredibly talented staff, including myself, have all been laid off, Hillard wrote. Frustrating turn of events, especially considering we were about 70% done with the next issue, and it was going to have a great cover, in all caps. Hillard clarifies that the state of the website is completely out of our hands, and that the staff have not been able to receive answers to their questions. USA Today has reached out to GameStop for a comment.
Freaking dark, man.
Dude.
Not letting them know.
They shut the doors. They locked it with 50 million locks. They pushed the couch up to the door, dude. They're just like, get out.
See you.
Just wild to me, man. Dude, we need some comment from GameStop, dude. We need comment now. Crazy.
Well, we might have actually received one because this article came out a week ago.
That's what I say.
Let me see if I can find an update.
So, anyways,
you keep going.
I will continue on. So, the gaming community mourns the magazine's end. Many took to social media to express their love for the outlet and its tragic end, including Neil Druckmann, head of creative of video game developer Naughty Dog and creator of HBO's The Last of Us. Farewell indeed, Neil said. As someone who grew up poring over each issue, it is such a thrill and an honor to see our games grace Game Informer. Druckmann wrote on X, sad that such a staple of our industry is now gone. Good luck to everyone involved. Your work will be missed. And in his Twitter post, he included all of the Game Informer related covers for like Uncharted 2, Uncharted 4, Last of Us 1. Kind of just how that, how they were all used throughout that. Even first Uncharted had its own cover. It's just crazy. I mean, the magazine's been around so long. So it's like it touched all these games that were, past 3 decades.
It's massive. Apparently, so yeah, 368 issues were printed and published during the 33-year run, which is freaking mental.
Yeah, just wild, man. I need to see if I have a Game Informer somewhere. I feel like I have one stuffed away somewhere. Find it.
Yeah, it might be worth something. You never know.
Yeah. So former Nintendo PR manager Kit Ellis also shared his appreciation for the magazine on X, recalling the cover he worked on for the game Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Game Informer brought out the best of the games industry, Ellis wrote. I worked on this cover, and its iconic artwork literally would not exist if their team did not push us to deliver something incredible. It's a profound loss for all of us. So you probably probably go see that. They actually don't have the picture of the article itself, unfortunately, but just like any Game Informer cover you see, it's just like, it gets you hyped for a game, you know?
It does, man. Every single one of them, I was just like, heck yeah, I was always very excited to see the tutorials on how to get the secret Easter eggs that only Game Informer figured out because they talked to the different devs, you know? Like that stuff was really cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things, like I know obviously like now it's so digital and magazines have become less and less relevant, but I still want a physical media of some sort. Like I think there's just so much novelty in that. So to see it go away, it's just like, it just stinks, man. It hurts.
It'll be all right, man. Well, it's just gonna be painful for now.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You like virtual game informer? Dude, I just want like someone needs to like do their start your own publication. You don't have to print because I'm sure print's expensive, but like, just, do some virtual things.
I mean the new medium now is video and audio.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
And it's not about like the magazines or the writers anymore, which is very interesting. It's more about like the opinion based content. Like I watch a whole bunch of big YouTubers and Twitch streamers for their opinions on certain games because it's like I kind of like the same games as them, so I wonder what their takes are, because it could be something interesting, and that's not something you really get with something like Game Informer. Game Informer was more about because you didn't really understand like who the reviewer was, so the reviewers kind of were pointless, but the tutorials on how to beat the game could be like very easy to follow, which was always very like where the value was for me, or the interesting content,
Yeah. Or if they're interviewing someone in a studio that works for a studio and you know that person, it's like, okay, it's probably
100%, yeah.
But now it's like, there's podcasts and video reviews and all that. So I mean, it's to your point. It's definitely different now.
Very true.
Yeah, it's definitely, the new medium. It's just, it will be sad for a little while to see that there's no sort of like gaming physical news media. But it's just the way it's heading, dude. As much as what's the 80s magazine go, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's just change. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like when the TV came out, radio stopped being so popular.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's just the natural evolution of how mediums of conversation work. Something better comes out that everybody prefers.
I mean,
the old ones die.
I think I'm just more so upset about the fact that like they didn't give like the writers a time, like the proper time to go, okay, this is the last article, like, or this is the last magazine, right? Like this is the last one, make it special kind of thing. It was just like, nah, you're done. Like no time. And that's what sucks the most, I think.
Yeah, that feels super heartless.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
Just not giving people that are super passionate an opportunity to show their passion and respect for 33 years of history.
Yeah. Exactly, dude. It's like
not cool. That's not cool.
That's just what sucks because they could have had a cool opportunity at least to be like, well, it's unfortunate this is ending, but like let's do like a recap, like the final article or the final magazine,
Yeah.
So yeah, that stinks, but I'm just gonna say, dude, if anyone has Spotify open or they could just go to it, just tell Spotify to play "Heartless" by Kanye West, and you'll know what we all feel like. So pure heartbreak, dude. Pure heartbreak.
Just don't listen to him talk about anything else other than the music.
Yeah, just do 808's Heartbreaks. That 808's Heartbreaks. All you need to listen to. Just don't.
Yeah.
Don't worry about news. None of that.
True.
Oh man, I think it's time we talk about some Warner Brothers, Mike.
Warner Brothers. Sometimes I forget about Warner Brothers, to be honest. Like it's one of those conglomerates that's just so massive, but I also kind of forget that they have video games.
They got the Batman games, man.
I know. I don't think about it. It's not like always on the top of my mind, Yeah, but anyhow, Warner Brothers does own a buttload of IPs, big IPs too. So this article is from Insider Gaming. It is from Mike Straw, and it's about news and rumors, apparently. So Warner Brothers is looking to sell off a games division, the reports claim. So Warner Bros. Discovery appears to be trying to get out of the game business. Or hold on, can I zoom in? Yeah, there we go. Weird. According to a new report from Financial Times, there is a subscription that's needed, by the way. So Warner Brothers is looking at the possibility of selling off at least a part of its game division. The report comes just 2 weeks after Warner Brothers acquired Multiverse's developer Players First Games. That's wild. The report claims that by selling off games, it would help the company avoid possible lawsuits from the various debt investors. What?
Oh.
Nothing has been finalized, however. So Warner Brothers Games currently owns major IPs like Harry Potter and Mortal Kombat. I think they're making a new movie, actually. Very excited about it, to be honest. They're also the publisher being Suicide. Oh, sorry. They're also the publisher of bringing Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and the live service game that was met with a poor response from players and critics alike. So, it was also a game that cost the company $200 million in revenue. That's crazy. I forgot how badly received Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was. They spent so much time developing it, and
So much
nobody
money,
cared.
dude. Just
Nobody cared.
That's rough.
Madness.
So rough. These games are so expensive now, dude.
Well, it doesn't have to be, though. Indie devs have proven this.
It's true, but...
Yeah. All right. This isn't the first time Warner Brothers Games was a potential sale candidate. Back in 2020, it was reported that Microsoft was interested in buying the division in order to get games like Mortal Kombat, Suicide Squad, and others under its umbrella, basically put them on Game Pass. It's unclear, should a sale happen, if Microsoft would once again be interested due to its current state of the company after its acquisition of Activision Blizzard. And what that references is basically how they're going through layoffs as well.
Yep.
Warner Brothers Discovery has not responded to multiple requests for comment prior to the publishing.
Oh man. Oh man. Listen.
Weird.
It's a wild thing. I just have to say too, I have to point out, dude, Mike Straw, just one criticism. What is this sentence? They were also the publisher being Suicide Squad. Sir, that is not being. That is supposed to be
no.
Like that's another
I tried
word.
to salvage it. I tried to salvage it.
I know. I just that's definitely not your fault. I don't know. Mike, what the heck, man? But listen, no. Back to the topic at hand. Listen, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird situation. But I think Warner Brothers too, like Microsoft buying Warner Brothers games, I mean, probably would have made sense 4 years ago. It certainly doesn't make sense now.
Nope.
So it's just kind of like, it just, the timing is just way off. And so I think it's just kind of, I mean, saying that they want to sell off the games division in the hopes that they can avoid possible lawsuits from debt investors. It's like, well, I don't know, dude. What are we doing?
Yeah.
The books aren't adding. It's not good.
No, the books ain't adding up, and it's a really bad sign. It's just it doesn't make sense to me because Warner Brothers has so many good IPs. They just totally fumbled the bag so hard with Suicide Squad that must be what's really the issue here. Losing $200 million like that, even though Warner Brothers is pretty big, they're gonna notice that in the marketing, not the marketing, the financials at the end of the year. They're gonna be like, "What was that?
No,
we can't be taking these hits anymore." That kind of attitude,
I mean, yeah, it's just Suicide Squad. I mean, yeah, you could make a really good Suicide Squad game. I just think the live service thing and just like the execution of that just wasn't there. It's just like
no,
man. Mortal Kombat though, still got a good IP there. Yeah, it's just like
Harry Potter though is massive.
I was gonna say if it's Hogwarts
Legacy wasn't bad.
That. I mean, yeah,
but it did get a lot of hate. It still sold though and was successful.
Still great. I think it's a good single player game. So I don't know. It's like
yeah,
dude. It's just man. Yeah, it sucks to see, but at the same time, it's just like to a certain extent they've kind of dug themselves this hole. So I mean, it's just like who knows? Who knows, man?
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I would imagine. I don't think Microsoft would go after it again, but I do think Sony would.
Maybe
I could see Sony doing it if Warner Brothers didn't have Mortal Kombat or that kind of gory of a game. I could see Nintendo going after it because there's like a lot of cartoony kind of stuff with Warner Bros. That they could implement into like a proper Switch game. I think.
Sure, dude. I mean, we're not talking about the greatest game of all time by Warner Brothers, and that was Looney Tunes Back in Action, dude. It's the best. Like, it was on GameCube, dude. It's like the best like Looney Tunes game ever, dude. So I don't know.
They got a relationship. I'm just saying. It could happen.
Gotta just bring back Looney Tunes, dude. Have something fun.
Yeah,
I know it's kind of in multiverses, but like, kind of. Not really. Like, it's not its own game, man. Make its own game, but yeah, dude, there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of ways they can come back if they're willing to put in that work and do it properly. That's the key.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's really what matters. It's just gonna be interesting to see how it happens. Like this week alone, the stock market kind of imploded for a whole bunch of reasons. Kind of complicated reasons that I don't want to talk about on the podcast, but it's like the market's changing, interest rates are changing so rapidly businesses in the gaming industry are really struggling and they're panicking, which is what all these layoffs are about. So who really knows what Warner Brothers is going to do? I think, yes, this article is kind of a rumor. Nothing's really, really official yet, but it would not surprise me if all of a sudden they were like, yeah, we're going to sell everything. Like everything outside of our major profit movers is all gone. That kind of thing. Yeah, they'll probably sell at a loss. That would not shock me.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. They're probably better off selling at a loss than dealing with lawsuits by debt collectors. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the big thing. That's the big thing I'm talking about.
Yeah, dude, it's just not looking good. Brother, I don't want your games, brother.
What do you say we jump into? We're kind of booking it today. I'm into it. Why don't we jump into the last article?
Main event.
Yeah, this one's old. This is kind of an old one. We didn't get a chance to really cover.
It's an old one, but you know what? You know what's going on right now, Mike? Worldwide event called the Olympics.
Olympics. Yeah,
dude. Worldwide event going on right now. Guess what, dude? Games, particularly video games, are coming to the Olympics. So let's talk about it. Yeah, again, this article's a couple weeks old, but still relevant, baby. Let's get it. So it's official. The International Olympic Committee votes to confirm that the first Olympic Esports Games will happen in 2025, even if they don't know the games yet. Everything about the event is yet to be decided, including the games, but it is happening. So it's good to hear.
Silly.
This is coming from PC Gamer. Rich Stanton over at PC Gamer wrote this. So recently, the International Olympic Committee joined up with the National Olympic Committee of Saudi Arabia to announce the first ever Olympic Esports Games set to be held in 2025. Now, it's been made official following a unanimous vote in favor by the IOC's executive board, a bit like the meme where Obama's giving himself a medal. There you go. Just give you a nice little mental image of that. The Olympic Esports Games are planned for an initial run of 12 years, with events held regularly, and IOC President Thomas Bach says this shows the IOC keeping up with the pace of digital revolution. He goes on to say that the NOC of Saudi Arabia will bring great, if not unique, experience to the field of esports for this project. This partnership is based on the Olympic Charter and the Olympic values, more on which shortly. The IOC has been testing the waters with esports since 2018, last year hosting the Esports Week in Singapore, albeit without any actual esports. The IOC Esports Commission was then directed to devise how an Olympic Esports Games could serve the interest of the esports community while respecting the Olympic values and the promotion of gender equality and engagement with the young audience. The latter may raise some eyebrows given the heavy Saudi involvement. And that's like a whole other political thing. It's a whole other political
let's
thing.
Let's not go into that.
Oh,
let's not get into that.
So, HRH, the Prince, and all these names.
It's basically, they're royal Saudi family.
I like Turkai
members.
Turkai. I like that name. Please don't come after me. So the Saudi Minister of Sport and President of their Olympic Committee said, thanks to Vision 2030 introduced by His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, esports in Saudi Arabia already has a rich past, an exciting present, and a promising future. Together, we all share the prospect of instilling the Olympic values in new and innovative ways. For his part, Mohammed bin Salman doesn't care if people look at this and think Saudi Arabia is sports washing, an appalling human rights record, and gets to just political stuff, Mike. So what else do we say?
I mean, even though it's political, it's true. They are 100% sports washing, and they have been for the better part of like 8 years. I think they've really been
guilty of it. Sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So I also remember the Prince Rima Bandar Al Saad says bin Salman's Vision 2023 or 2030 plan has delivered a wave of more than 150 reforms that have transformed society, empowering both women and youth. The IOC release goes on to trumpet the growth of women's sports in Saudi Arabia since 2015 and measures such as equal pay. This thing, like, dude, get into the quality of it, dude. It's getting crazy.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's one of those things. I certainly don't like. I just know it's bad over there. I don't obviously have much context. I haven't kept up with it a lot. So I mean, who knows? Maybe this is a way to kind of bridge that gap more. Maybe this is the start of something. Hopefully. Um, So, confirmation of any of an Olympic Esports Games means work now begins on selecting a host city and venue for the event, the dates and the games to be included, and the qualification process. The IOC will also create a new structure within itself responsible for running the Olympic Esports Games, which will remain distinct from the Olympic Games themselves in both financial and organization. So, be a little separated, but still kind of Olympics. So, it'll be cool to see though, like. If this goes without a hitch, dude, this could be very entertaining. Just saying. Like to see like Olympic involvement in esports in general.
Yeah, I think this is kind of the future of gaming, regardless of what people might think. There's a lot of sports and activities and hobbies that ended up making it to the Olympic stage and becoming an Olympic sport. I know there was a lot of issues with like skateboarding and snowboarding in particular because they were more viewed as like extreme sports or whatever they called it. Like how there was the X Games, then the Olympics was never there. But then they've like slowly but surely been adding more and more activities. And the truth of the matter is as long as there's a talented player pool or of people, competitors that has a wide audience, it's gonna end up on the Olympics eventually.
Yeah, it's true.
I think that's just what it is. It's just interesting too because having an Olympic Esports Games is kind of odd because it's like a game. Like you wouldn't see checkers or chess in the Olympics. I don't think.
Right.
I don't think. Yeah, but isn't darts in the Olympics? Maybe.
I don't know, like the shooting in the Olympics is archery. I mean, darts is pretty close. I mean,
yeah. So it's just a different medium to compete, and as long as it's fair and balanced, I think it could be really successful. The fact that it's being led by Saudi Arabia, there's a lot of political connotations we can like get into.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's definitely sports washing. I think you can't really argue against that. They've been doing this with soccer or football, depending on where you're from, and that's what they've been trying to do. They've been adding more like Formula One races out there. It's weird. It's just really weird. Like it's weird from a Western point of view, I think. Right? Because like the cultures are so completely different. But at the same time, it's like they're trying to like turn the representation around a little bit. And it has a lot to do with His Royal Highness making these types of decisions of being very conscientious. Is that the right way?
Conscientious. Whatever.
Yeah, about like how they are perceived around the world.
Right, yeah.
Now, for an incredibly long time, it's been very, very negative, at least in the Western part of the world. So to see this go on, it's like I don't know about for like gaming. I think it's kind of cool to see that this is happening. That it's actually going to become an Olympic game. But at the same time, it's like, could we have used any other country like that doesn't have these human rights violations?
Does anyone else want to chip in? It's like
anybody else. It's weird, man. It's really weird because like there are things going on around the world right now when it comes to esports that I find very interesting that we can kind of talk about. Is like Korea, like South Korea in particular, they're giving out scholarships to kids just for being good at like StarCraft or Dota. That's like wild to see.
Yeah, I mean, even U.S. universities, I mean, there's some esports stuff. So
there's a lot of cool stuff going on in Europe with Counter-Strike and Valorant about like how there's academies for people to get out of like their particular environment because they're good at video games.
Right.
It's just like really cool to see. It's like another outlet for people. Very fascinating to see it develop because, dude, 10 years ago, this was all unheard of.
Yeah,
that's how like quick this is happening. So let's
wild, man.
let me get your prediction, man. What do you think would be the game that they would put at the Olympic Esports?
Yeah, dude, that was the question I was gonna ask you, dude. I think there could be a lot of different choices. I know for me, like seeing a game, I think for me seeing a game like Rocket League would make sense for me personally. Like if I were to see something like, I think it's easy to understand for anybody. Like it's literally just soccer with cars.
It's a very nice like viewing experience.
Exactly. It's like even if you don't understand like like the overall skill involved, it's still just super entertaining to see someone do like a flip reset and score a goal like halfway across court. It's like stuff like that is just, you see that, you're just like, I don't know what just happened, but that was sick. And so it's like, I don't know. I feel like that would be easily viewable. Yeah, so like that. I mean, but if we're going FPS route, I mean, I think like Counter-Strike's kind of a gimme. Like if you're gonna have like some shooter like that. Granted, the kind of visual, I mean, there may not be as big of an audience to watch something like that, but it's just one of those like classic really FPS shooters. Like it's
also very easy to understand as well. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like there's 2 bombs, 5v5, like that's, and it's kind of just, someone's trying to plant, someone's not, and just seeing kind of the different skill levels of that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. What do you think? Do you think we see Overwatch there? I mean, I feel like Overwatch is a game that I don't know. I mean, they have the Overwatch League, but I don't know.
I don't think it's going to be a shooter, actually.
Yeah. So do you like? Well, how many games do you think overall? Do you think it's gonna be one game, or do you think it's gonna be like kind of different? Like there'd be a tournament for one game, a tournament for another kind of thing.
I think a very interesting thing to do. They probably won't do this, but to have like they used to have this in the 90s, I think, or early 2000s. There was an ultimate gaming competition where you had to be good at multiple games.
Yeah, like a world championship kind of thing.
Yeah, like a
Nintendo World Championship.
Yeah, something like that. I could see that being an option. I don't know, man, because the gaming industry is always evolving. There's always going to be a new game to like grab everybody's attention in like a month or so. Like who knows what Marathon could be?
Right.
I know it's supposed to be like an extraction shooter, but what if they have a multiplayer option?
Yeah.
What if Splitgate comes out and it's actually like Splitgate 2? It comes out and apparently captivates an entire generation of new gamers, and that becomes the main thing.
Yeah.
Like if this was maybe 2018 and this was announced and maybe the Olympics were happening 2 years from 2018, like 2020, or Fortnite would be unequivocally the number one choice, I think.
That's weird.
But now, you got to think about it on a global scale. What amount of countries could field an all Counter-Strike team or an all Valorant team and be highly competitive and driven to make that happen? Because I think there's like I don't think any console shooter would make it. I don't even think any console game in general would make it, because consoles are really only sold in 3 different regions, like North America, North America, Europe, and like Japan. It's pretty much like the only real areas where people buy consoles. Everybody else has PCs. Now that like I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit, but that's kind of my mindset.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see StarCraft, Dota, Overwatch did have the Overwatch League where they did kind of a national based team system where they competed, but Overwatch isn't popular anymore.
That's true.
So what's the play?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, I think like, so if I'm looking at like a medal perspective, like if I'm doing like single person medals, like I think a battle royale would make the most sense. The only thing is like you're gonna have multiple people from the same country. Obviously, you're not gonna have 100 different countries representing for a game. I wouldn't think.
I mean that's what you have now as it is. Like in swimming, you don't have one single person from one country.
Right.
Like you get multiple people.
Yeah, exactly, multiple people. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like I mean it would be that. I mean, you could do like squads and stuff too. I mean, I think like a 4-person, like a 4-man team based kind of thing would make the most sense. I think
it would. Yeah.
4
or 5. I think 5, 6 maximum. Anything more than that, it's out of control. I think like rowing does 6. Is rowing in the Olympics? I think so, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think they always have big teams. But yeah, it's like stuff like that. I think there's many routes you could take, many different games you could do. Like, I mean, but it's like one of those things. There's so many games. I think. I mean, the biggest challenge would probably be filling out countries for certain games. But I mean, there's so many different options you could take. So, I mean, I'd be curious to see what their approach would be. It's just gonna be like, it would feel weird if it was just one game and that was it. But
yeah, I agree.
It's like
it's got to be multiple games, and it's got to hit.
Yeah, it's got to be
the thing.
It's got to be a good diversity too, right? Like it can't just all be shooters. It can't just all be MOBAs. I don't think it could just all be like battle royales or whatever. Like, I think you have to have a good variety of different games. I mean, like, dude, like fighting games would go crazy. Like, just throw up like a Street Fighter or like a Super Smash or something. Like, I feel like that would be awesome too. It's like just being meddled in like a fighting game would be sick.
Okay, Okay, yeah. I'm looking at a list of the most popular games from across the web.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
And it gave me an idea the moment I saw this. So there are a couple of things. I think we are on the right track. There should be at least one battle royale, whether that's Fortnite, PUBG. I wouldn't put Call of Duty. Call of Duty isn't really popular worldwide.
I mean,
like
Warzone's more popular than PUBG though. PUBG is like, I would be very shocked.
Your PUBG has more players than like Warzone by like 2x because PUBG Mobile exists.
Oh, I'm not counting mobile. I'm talking about like desktop.
I mean, I kind of am, dude.
They mobile games, million. Sure. Like, look, there could be mobile games at the Olympics. I'm not denying that. Like, there certainly could be.
Yeah.
But
so that's what I'm trying to say is like you could probably have PUBG Mobile. That would be insanely popular. Tetris. You could do Tetris. Would be a really good one.
Yeah.
Would be a really high level Tetris.
I mean, dude, like a lot of people know Tetris like worldwide.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think. I don't maybe Apex. Apex would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, because I would enjoy seeing Apex, but yeah, it's
yeah. But speed running, any game.
Oh yeah, like okay.
Like that's a different because now you're like some Olympic sports are not direct like competitions between you and somebody else.
Yeah, it's you versus
like
yourself.
A lot of that's really what it is. There's like a lot of like golf is kind of like that. You're not really competing against other people. You're competing against yourself and against the game itself, like the weather conditions, and you want to do better than you've ever been.
Right. I mean, it's like if you're like doing like like some of like the track and field stuff, like whether it's like shot put or hammer throw or discus, like stuff like that is like you're competing against yourself ultimately. Obviously, there's other people competing, but like you have like a set number of tries, right? And so you're trying to do better each time, and so it's like. And then if you're like Mike, it's like your monitors blind you. It's like,
did you see how bright that was on my face?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. For sure.
Could you speed run Minecraft?
Yeah, you can speed run in game, like beating the dragon and everything. You do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's apparently the most popular game. Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite. And the next ones are Counter-Strike, League of Legends. League of Legends, I think, would actually
it would go crazy. Very popular.
That would be a good one.
Dude, if I saw a Roblox game at the Olympics, dude, I'm glued to the TV. I'm sorry, like I'm watching, dude. It would be so quirky and funny, dude. I'd be watching that. Oh man,
you know what they're gonna do though?
No way that's gonna happen, but yeah.
You know what they're gonna do from like a perspective to make people interested in watching because it's relatable and understanding is any sport game. So NBA. EA Sports.
I mean,
and NHL, NFL, they'll do those. Yeah, they'll do all those because it's like everybody already knows those games.
Yeah.
Or like how to play those games, FIFA or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the next real Olympics is gonna have flag football, so it's like, I mean,
yeah,
already there.
Yeah.
So it's like
Ultimate Frisbee. Do they have that?
Oh, dude, yeah. I don't know if they have Ultimate Frisbee actually. You know another one, dude? They don't have bowling. Think about that. That's kind of wild.
If they don't have darts, then like if they don't have bowling, then they don't have darts, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. They should put bar like that. That's a good bar game. Like, dude, what about pool, man? I want to see billiards. Like, where's that at? That'd be so sick to watch at the Olympics. Dude.
Oh, they're gonna add darts.
Oh, really?
They're working to add darts.
Super competitive, so yeah, makes sense to me. But yeah, dude, there's so many like little things that I've like just now thinking about. It's like that'd be sick to see at the Olympics, but. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's wild, dude. This whole gaming thing though can go so many different directions. So I'm intrigued to see what they actually come up with. Because I mean, there's so many different niches and avenues and so many ways to appeal to so many different audiences. So, just they have to get it right.
It's very interesting. It's gonna matter a lot what games they choose.
I think so too.
I
mean, it's gonna make
find out.
So I don't know. I mean, that's the thing about games too. It's like, I mean, the beauty of the Olympics, right? It's like it's human versus human. It's like kind of just like, I mean, obviously there's some factors out of your control, but like with games, it's like there are so many factors that could be out of your control, especially a competitive shooter. Like if you go with a shooter, it's like, oh, gets dicey. I don't know.
What if people start like? There's always gonna be cheaters in every kind of sport, right?
Yeah.
People dope all the time.
Like yeah, like what's the doping in the gaming world?
Yeah.
Oh man.
We're gonna have like word.exe, whatever that was.
Yep.
Jeez, show up on stream, back ban for gold.
Yeah, back ban on live.
Oh my
Crazy.
god, that'd be insane.
Oh man. Dude,
yeah,
I have so many questions, and I just want to see this. I want to see what they do.
So. Same. It's just gonna be interesting to see how it all develops. I'm excited. I think it's really cool from like a competitive standpoint. I love competitive games and I love watching esports in general.
Yeah.
So this is cool. I just kind of wish it was a different country that wasn't as controversial, as bipartisan, I guess, or like, yeah, divisive is probably the correct way to say it. But yeah, man.
It's true, dude. It's true. I agree. Oh, so many
so that's pretty much that's pretty much the articles for the week, isn't it?
It sure is, dude. Done and dusted.
Yeah.
Is anyone out there playing games, dude? Let us know right now. Talk to your screen. What games you playing? talk to your audio in your car. Are you driving right now? Hopefully you stay safe. You know.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't really have anything else to add.
I don't either. Go PlayStation, even though, you know, I'm not like the biggest Sony pony these days, but I got the shirt, baby. I got the shirt, baby. Yeah, dude.
That's funny. The biggest Sony pony. You're silly, man.
Listen, dude. Don't come after me, all right? Come after me. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, so first Olympic Esports Games will be happening in 2025. That's next year, along with plenty more games coming out. Sorry, Avowed got pushed out.
Like Avowed.
Got pushed out. We saw more weird layoffs because Game Informer imploded. Warner Brothers doesn't know what they're doing. Bungie still hiring, even though they're firing. They're hiring and firing. It's crazy, man. What are we gonna do?
I just don't know anymore, Mike. I don't know, man.
Oh, without further ado, man, I think I'm ready to let the people go. We're doing a little bit of a shorter one than we usually do. Half of them have been like an hour and a half long, so it's kind of nice to finish. We're finishing before 9 o'clock, dude.
We're back on time.
Yeah, we're back on time, baby. Let's go. Well, usual thing, if you guys made it this far, we really appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. Let us know that you're here. Join the Discord, say what's up. Message us on the Twitters, whatever you want to do. And if you want to check out anything that we've covered, we have links in the description below. Tiny URLs, you can click those. We've tried to shout out where the articles come from and who wrote them, so go show them love if you can. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to share, dude. Do you have anything to add, Kyle? I always like to ask you that at the end, give you an opportunity.
You know, I just don't think so, dude. I don't think so. I'm just excited for the Olympics. I'm saying Olympic Esports, bro. I really am. I really want to see what they do. So, oh man,
it's gonna be cool. Alrighty, well, we have plenty more time to see what's gonna happen. We got some more games coming up in about a week or so, 2 weeks. I'm most excited for Black Myth Wukong, so hopefully I get to knock out some games before then, and hopefully you get an opportunity, Kyle, to play some games. So
for sure, I gotta make it happen, dude. I will have something for next week. All right,
you better come back with something. You better load up. I don't even know what the heck you've been playing, but you better load something up. Go play Roblox.
Dude, honestly, I'm playing console Roblox. I think it's on Xbox, right?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, shoot. All right. Let's, again, for the 5th time, thanks for listening. We appreciate you. I'm Michael Anthony. Kyle Heath. This is the MT Podcast. We'll see you next week. Take it easy.
Play games. Bye. Competing Olympics for games.